On Monday, October 2, 2023, Indonesian President Joko Widodo officially inaugurated a high-speed train connecting the capital Jakarta with the city of Bandung, the first of its kind in the archipelago and Southeast Asia. This project, with a value of $7.3 billion and a construction period lasting nearly a decade, marks an important event not only for Indonesia because it also reflects China's tireless competition against Japan over the past decades in this field, and finally ended by China's victory against Japan in Asia, and to some extent in the world. How could China, which started out as a poor, technologically backward country having a standard of living equivalent to an African country, be able to catch up and surpass Japan in many fields, including high-speed train technology, within only 10 years? In this episode, we will introduce to you China's steps and their clever strategies in economic development. Countries in Asia can see here a model that is more practical and suitable for Asians than the models in Europe or America, many of which cannot applicable to Asians. Deng Xiaoping and high-speed rail dream of China. In December 1990, the Ministry of Railways of China, MOR, submitted to the National People's Congress a proposal to build a high-speed railway between Beijing and Shanghai. It came from Deng Xiaoping's suggestion, leader of China for high-speed rail dream, after his visit to Japan, where he was deeply impressed by the Shinkansen, the world's first high-speed rail system. In December 1994, the State Council commissioned a feasibility study for the line. Policy planners debated the necessity and economic viability of high-speed rail service. Supporters argued that high-speed rail would boost future economic growth. Opponents noted that high-speed rail in other countries were expensive and mostly unprofitable. In 1995, Premier Li Peng announced that preparatory work on the Beijing-Shanghai HSR would begin in the 9th Five-Year Plan, 1996 to 2000, but construction was not scheduled until the first decade of the 21st century. You know that in 1993, commercial train service in China averaged only 48 kilometers per hour, 30 miles per hour, and was steadily losing market share to airlines. The Guangzhou-Shenzhen Railway, which in December 1994 became the first line in China to offer sub-high-speed service of 160 km per hour, 99 miles per hour, using domestically produced DF-class diesel locomotives. The line was electrified in 1998, and Swedish-made X2000 trains increased service speed to 200 km per hour, 124 miles per hour. After the completion of a third track in 2000 and a fourth in 2007, the line became the first in China to run high-speed passenger and freight service on separate tracks. In 2003, the MOR was believed to favor Japan's Shinkansen technology. However, Chinese citizens angry with Japan's denial of World War II war crimes organized a web campaign to oppose the awarding of HSR contracts to Japanese companies. In June 2004, the MOR solicited bids to make 200 high-speed train sets that can run 200 km per hour, 124 miles per hour. All had to adapt their HSR train sets to China's own common standard and assemble units through local joint ventures, JV, or cooperate with Chinese manufacturers. The following year, Siemens joined the bidding for 350 km per hour, 217 miles per hour, trains, and won a 60 train set order. Maglev technology, the conventional rail versus Maglev debate. Maglev received a big boost in 2000 when the Shanghai municipal government agreed to purchase a turnkey Transrapid train system from Germany for the 30.5 kilometers, 19.0 miles, rail link connecting Shanghai Pudong International Airport and the city. In 2004, the Shanghai Maglev train became the world's first commercially operated high-speed Maglev. As of 2023, it remains the fastest commercial train in the world with peak speeds of 431 km per hour, 268 miles per hour, and makes the 30.5 kilometers, 19.0 miles, trip in less than 7.5 minutes. Concepts for high-speed rail, HSR, in Indonesia were first seriously contemplated in 2008, leading to discussions at Asian Investment Summit in 2013, and detailed plans being set forth in 2015. The plan to start construction of the Jakarta-Bandung HSR was announced by the Indonesian government in July 2015, after the Chinese president and other world leaders visited the Bandung conference. Both Japan and China expressed their interest in the high-speed rail projects in Indonesia. Previously, both countries had carried out comprehensive studies into a project for the Jakarta-Bandung section, 142.8 kilometers or 88.7 miles. Only the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, JITSA, had issued a study for a project extending to Surabaya, 730 kilometers or 450 miles. The Indonesian HSR bid marked a rivalry between Japan and China in their competition for Asian infrastructure projects. Japan's proposal. Since 2008, Japan has been working on a plan to export their Shinkansen high-speed railway technology to Indonesia. During the Indonesia-Japan Friendship Festival in November 2008, Japan showcased their Shinkansen technology to Indonesian audiences. The idea of high-speed rail backed by funding through soft loans has been proposed by Japan International Cooperation Agency, JITSA, for the Indonesian island of Java, linking up the densely populated corridor from the capital Jakarta to Surabaya, 730 kilometers or 450 miles. However, a new proposal to divide the project into stages emerged, with the first stage being built from Jakarta to Bandung. The conventional travel time of 3 hours would be reduced to 35 minutes at a price of 78 trillion rupiah. JITSA finished the detailed feasibility study in 2014. Japanese domination in the high-speed rail project appeared to be unchallenged until April 2015, when China made a counteroffer. China's bid. On March 26, 2015, Joko Widodo visited Beijing and met China's leader Xi Jinping. She publicly announced support for the Indonesian high-speed project, and the two governments signed a memorandum specifying China's interest in the Jakarta-Bandung line. In April 2015, China submitted a bid for the Indonesian high-speed rail project, much to Japan's dismay. In July 2015, the Indonesian government released its plan to build the high-speed rail connecting Jakarta and Bandung, and arranged a contest between Japanese and Chinese train makers as potential bidders. China responded by launching the Chinese high-speed rail technology. Both China and Japan have engaged in fierce competition through intense lobbying for the contract. On Friday, October 16, 2015, Chinese and Indonesian state-owned companies officially signed the deal to build the first high-speed railway in Indonesia. The project cost was estimated to be $5.5 billion. The deal was signed by China Railway International Company Limited Chairman Yang Zhongmin and Dwi Windarto, the president-director of a consortium of Indonesian state companies, PT Pilar Sinergi BUMN Indonesia. China Development Bank has given a commitment to fund 75% of the project costs with loan terms of 40 years for the loan, with an initial grace period of 10 years, with fixed loan rate. CRCC will hold majority shares in the planned JV company, while Wika holds 30% and small portions for local toll operator PT Jasa Marga Tbk. In the end, the race ended with China winning. This is a fierce but completely fair competition, and the Indonesian government is not under pressure from any side. The advantages that the Chinese side offers are a cheaper price of about $700 million, no government guarantee required, risks will be borne by the joint venture between Chinese and Indonesian companies, and no any responsibility from the Indonesian government. In addition, the Chinese side also committed to transferring technology to Indonesia, but Japan did not make any commitments.